Remarkable! Incredible! Unbelievable!
Save! And fuck our champions! Good up, Pepe! Goal!
It doesn't get any better than that.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Game and Frame live stream, coming to you live from the Mitchell Athletic Complex in Nassau County, New York. My name is Francis Argueta, and today we have a couple of teams seeking their first win of the UPSL season. It's been a surprising start to the season for East Coast FC. Last season's third-place team has begun the spring with back-to-back losses, the latest of which came to Braveheart by a score of 5-0. Today they face Brooklyn FC 2, whose two losses have come to champions, New York Renegades and Red Hook FC. They'll look to turn it around today as they also face a fiery Braveheart next week. The stage is set on what has been a beautiful April Saturday. Someone is leaving today with their first point of the season, and we'll find out who that is at the start of this game. We're just waiting on the main official's whistle at this point. East Coast starts with Guevara in net and a back four among Moncaliano, Altuve, Morales, and Solarte completing the back four. They have five midfielders playing today with Velasquez, Diego Cucanuba, Castro, Palomares, and Luque playing in the midfield with just Velez up top, the number 13, lone striker for East Coast this evening. Munoz is in net for Brooklyn FC 2. TJ Bernard, Zeke, Roland, Adeus, and Otu Jesse complete the back four. Raven, Dominic, and Foposi are in the midfield, and they have a top three of Wisdom, Garces, and Yaya up top as the number 9. We're ready for a kickoff here in Nassau County. The whistle is on its way soon. There's the whistle we were waiting for. It is kickoff here. Brooklyn FC in the black jerseys. East Coast in white with red letters, red numbers. Red keeper for Brooklyn, pink keeper for East Coast. And we are on our way. Early action here for Palomares on the right side. And it is safely in the hands of the keeper. First taste of summer on this Saturday has been like this all day. High 70s, low 80s for the most part. A bit of some wind here in Nassau County. It's looking to be a beautiful evening for some soccer, as here comes the early action for East Coast. There's an early shot. Not much of a threat there, but it is still kept in play. That is Palomares who keeps it alive. Being defended there by Brooklyn. Diego Cucanuba comes into the corner and he kicks it out of bounds. Looks like the official is pointing for the first corner of the game. It is going to be for East Coast. This is going to be Junior Velasquez who is going to take this with the number 31 on the right corner. In comes the service. Brooklyn to it first. Here's a rebound for East Coast. And Diego is forced off the ball. There's a clearance by Brooklyn. And they look to start a counter, but not before it goes out of bounds for an East Coast throw-in. East Coast finished last season in the winter 3rd place, only behind Renegades and Braveheart. So this 0-2 start, a little surprising for the team from Long Island. But today, as well as their next game, will be some opportunities to score some points, as here's some more action on the left corner of the box. A defender goes down. Ball is still alive. And off the East Coast player, Brooklyn FC have a throw-in. Following today's match, Future will be the next opponent for East Coast. So 2 very winnable games as Brooklyn is on the counter. Looks like the player's onside for Brooklyn, but the defense beats him with the speed. Guevara with the forced clearance. And Brooklyn controls up in the air once again. That comes off Looks like Bernard, as Palomares is pushing forward. Palomares looking to take on Rowland. Into that same corner he goes. Diego Canuba showing some support. Further back it goes to Franklin Solarte. Here's Velasquez. Further outlet to Mocaliano. This is Castro, it was, and it is given away to Brooklyn. Can they control possession this time around? Looks like the answer is no for the most part. Here is Franklin Solarte back on the ball. Over to Diego, back to Franklin. There's Morales. Looking for the opening possession here of a shot on target. There's a great move by the midfielder for East Coast. Further inside he goes. That is Luque. And he puts in a service for his winger. And it goes off that winger for a Brooklyn SC throw-in. Last loss for East Coast came against Braveheart, who is off to a great start so far this season. They lost by a score of 0-5. So 5-0 Braveheart win, as there looks to be a foul call, I believe, by the main official on East Coast. There's Altuve trying to force a clearance, and it goes off the Brooklyn SC player for an East Coast throw-in. Opening 5 minutes down in this first half, still 0-0 score. Here comes the throw-in, looking for Luque. Brooklyn to it first. Luque gets a rebound and he gets fouled in the middle of the field. You hear a lot of Spanish communication from this East Coast squad. Many Long Islanders, many Hispanic players on the team. Not so much from Brooklyn. Some communication advantage to the team from Long Island. Brooklyn gets on the counter and quickly dispossessed they are. That is actually Castro, who makes a nice move in the midfield. Back to Velasquez now, the Salvadorian midfielder takes a long shot and is a long ways off target, as Brooklyn SC will handle this goal kick. Can Brooklyn get some rhythm going? There is Rowland trying to start that. Past 3 defenders now. That is Garces pushing forward. And there's a foul on the midfielder, Dominic. Gets a free kick for his team. Make sure to keep an eye out for our plays of the week. You'll find those on Game and Frame or our Instagram page, Game and Frame. There's a cross attempt by Brooklyn, blocked by East Coast. And a successful goal kick by the East Coast defense. So far, both teams trying to get an early rhythm to this game. Brooklyn is going to attempt to control more of the ball, as East Coast has been ball dominant so far. And they'll start playing from the back with Morales. This is Altuve looking for Mocaliano. Luque with the spin off the Brooklyn defender for another throw-in. There goes the ball looking for Palomares. He might be through here. He is. He has some speed on him. He has a one-on-one with the goalie now. One-on-one, and he shoots and scores! Golazo for the opening goal of the match. East Coast. Adrian Palomares found an opening, has some speed to him, and one-on-one with the keeper. He comes out victorious. He opens up the scoring. It is 1-0 for East Coast. That is exactly the opening East Coast was looking for, so they can have an early lead in this match within the opening 10 minutes. It is Palomares. First shot on goal, first goal for East Coast. They'll look to continue building from this. And quickly dispossesses Brooklyn by Velasquez. And they're off to counter again. Here's Palomares, the goal scorer. He finds Velez. Over to Kukunuba. Back to Velez. Here's the cross into the box. And it is off the defender. That is Adeus to force another corner for East Coast. Slowly but surely, they are finding their rhythm in this first half. That early goal will do wonders for that to continue the opening first 45 minutes of this match. Velasquez to take the corner from the same corner as before. In comes the service. There goes a header. Past everybody it goes. Safely out of bounds for a throw-in for Brooklyn. Well, there was surely to come some goals in this first half. A lot of which were going to come from East Coast with this Brooklyn defense. Now they have to find some composure as there's a foul ran through the back there by the East Coast defender Moncaliano for Brooklyn. They'll need to bounce back quick because despite their slow start to the season, East Coast can get a lot of goals on you when given the opportunity. There's Garces looking for that ball. Morales too at first, safely into the hands and feet of Guevara. Tempting the opposing forward, that is Yaya. Here it comes to Franklin Solarte. Once again looking for Palomares. Early attacking action from Palomares. Back to him it goes. Surrounded by black jerseys. Just the second goal of the season for East Coast, and there's a high kick there called by the official. And Adrian getting a little too much pressure on the free kick. Doesn't want to do that too often or he's going to get a booking. Already got a warning from the main official. Here comes the goal kick from Munoz. Yeah, gets to it first. Here's Garces. Garces surrounded by White. Puts it across, and there's the goal! Yeah, the number 9 for Brooklyn FC ties it up in the first action in the opposing third, their first shot on goal. It is 1-1 for Brooklyn FC 2. Just about 4 minutes after the opening goal, Brooklyn FC ties it. A bit of lackluster defending from East Coast. Allowed the cross into the box. And Yaya The starting center forward for this Brooklyn FC2 squad was there to capitalize it. And they're not done. Here they go again. Looking for Garces this time. Garces goes down to his feet, still on his feet. No foul by the ref. East Coast trying to start some counter-attack offense. Solarte now. Velez was making the run. That's actually Palomares making the run. Now it goes to Velez. And out of bounds once again. Looking for Adrian once again. Still a live ball. Junior Velasquez recovers for East Coast. Over to Castro now. Castro goes down. No call, says the ref. Brooklyn FC now are starting to liven up. There's a sliding tackle perfectly timed by Moncaliano. And the linesman says that is off Brooklyn. And East Coast regains possession. There comes another throw-in. Cleared away by Rowland. And it lands to Dominic. This is Bernard. Good ball down the middle of the field. It is Brooklyn now with the possession of the ball. There's a long ball service looking for Garces. He drops it down for Dominic, who loses possession to Junior. And there are runs being made by East Coast now. Over to Palomares, back to Junior. Nice move to get past one defender, couldn't get through the knucks. And Brooklyn now gives it away once again. This is Altuve. Adrian making a run, read well by Bernard. Trying to get out of harm's way now. This is Adeus, back to the keeper Munoz. Over to Jesse Otu. Back to Jesse, being pressed on by Luque. Brooklyn has had new life now that that first goal went into the net. Even the playing field. This is Dominic. Dominic once again. Looking for Paposi. Good defensive possession there by Solarte. Clears it all the way to the other side of the field for a goal kick for Brooklyn. Back in play it goes. Over to Dominic. Gets past his defender. Now has some black jerseys to look out for. Yaya is making the run. Here's Garces instead. Over to Yaya. Back to Garces. Garces making the run and wasn't able to put in the good contact that it needed. Forces a save for Guevara. East Coast now forming their offense once again with Diego Cucunuba. Diego switches the field over to Solarte. Velasquez. Back to Solarte and back to Velasquez. Adrian not able to control that one, as Brooklyn's defense is stepping it up since tying this game up in the 14th minute of the match. It was Adrian Palomares who opened up the scoring in the 9th minute. And here's Dominic now. Over to Bernard. Bernard still pushing forward. Still Bernard. He has Garces now. There's a sliding tackle, perfectly timed by Morales. That goes out of bounds. Looks to be a goal kick signaled by the main official. Make sure to tune in to Game and Frame tomorrow as the New York Renegades face the New York Empire at 7:30. It is UPSL premier action in the Northeast American North Division. Here's Luque making some moves. Finds down Ramos down the left side. Castro, excuse me. It's a bicycle move, trying to get Jesse off the defense. There's a deflection there, and it lands to Brooklyn. Looking for Garces. Takes an awkward bounce. Garces trying to beat the defender, but Guevara in net is to it first. Franklin Solarte now. Diego Cucanuba. The opening's not as easy now for East Coast as they were in the opening minutes of this match. We are 20 minutes into the match now, 1-1 score. East Coast in white, Brooklyn in black. And given away by East Coast there. There's a service once again. That is Wisdom making the run down the right side. It is 2v3 here. Support coming for Brooklyn. Makes a move on the defense and takes a wild shot off target. Everything but the finish there that was needed to put Brooklyn up top in this match. Great move by Wisdom nonetheless. There's going to be a goal kick for Guevara. With Yaya's goal earlier in the match, Brooklyn has scored their first goal of the season. Not much of a surprise that it comes to East Coast, who has allowed 7 goals, now 8 in the opening 3 matches. Velez surrounded by black jerseys. This is Poposi now on the ball. Over to TJ. Poposi looking for help. He finds Jesse down the right side. Goes all the way back to Adeus. And this is Zeke Rowland. There's a cross, but doesn't find anybody in particular. Defense to clear it. Dominic to the clearance. Junior recovers. Cucanuba, nice move on Poposi. Gets him off him. Now Luque is down the left wing. Luque has Jesse on him. Waiting for help. Takes it to the corner. Jesse still on him and is given right away to Brooklyn. Wisdom now. The back pass didn't work for Yaya, but they get a throw-in out of that. Brooklyn defense has been a lot better after scoring that tying goal in this match. Poposi. Excuse me, this is Wisdom on the ball. It goes out of bounds for an East Coast throw-in. For East Coast, as mentioned before, they face Future Soccer Academy coming up next on April 26th. After that, they have 2 very tough matches. Top 3 teams last season in the New York Empire, followed by the champions in the New York Renegade. For Brooklyn, they face the Braveheart, who beat this East Coast squad 5-0 in their last match, followed by Academias Barcelona and Future Soccer Academy. For both teams, this match today, as there's a foul called by the ref, this is a winnable match. Both teams can see themselves coming out with at least a point to get their first point of the season. We've got about 20 minutes left in this first half. 1-1 score. Adrian Palomares opened up the scoring, followed by Yaya for Brooklyn. About 4 minutes later, Palomares from Peru and Yaya repping the U.S. This is Palomares, the goal scorer of this match. Rowland does well to take away the danger, but still allows the corner. It is the third corner of the match for East Coast FC. There's the coaching calling for Anthony Morales, a big body to push up front into the box, make his presence felt off this corner. Coming from Junior Velasquez, there it is. There's a header, and it goes once again above everybody's heads. Out of play for Brooklyn FC. Given away cheaply over to East Coast now. Here's Luque. Lovely dribbling from Luque as always. Solarte with plenty of space to work with. Takes a long, generous shot, and it goes far wide off target for a Munoz goal kick. There's a goal kick from Munoz. And it lands to Garces. Garces looking for wisdom now. Morales recovers well for East Coast. The speed of this Brooklyn FC front three is going to be a challenge for this East Coast defense. Dominic, who has some good footwork in the midfield, will show that as well. Paposi, Wisdom trying to make a turn there. Dominic looking for Wisdom once again. Still anybody's ball. It lands to Rowland. There's looked to be a foul, but no call, says the ref. And it goes for Palomares. He has Dominic on him, and as well as Bernard. It goes off Brooklyn once again. Ref, I think, is saying to back up for the throw-in. Goes into Adrian once again. Being defended by TJ. There goes Luque, has an opening, but Jesse is to it first. This has become a much more even game since Brooklyn tied it in the 13th, 14th minute. Neither team has had a foothold of this game since then. We have a decent showing here in Nassau County, Mitchell Sports Complex. Brooklyn making its way from Brooklyn over to Long Island. East Coast looking to defend home turf and get their first win of the season. Diego gets that ball back for East Coast. Solarte over to Castro. Castro looking for Velez up top. And Munoz read that well. It's to his first. The long kick looking for Garces. That seems to be the man to target up front. And those long balls. It lands to Yaya. Dominic now dispossessed by East Coast, and that challenge for Junior Velasquez ends in a shoulder injury, it looks like, as he landed awkwardly, making that sliding tackle. Dominic is also down for Brooklyn, but he is slowly back up to his feet. Junior felt his shoulder right away after making that sliding tackle, trying to keep that ball in bounds. Big player, the Salvadorian midfielder for this East Coast squad. We have about 15 minutes to go of regular time, depending on how much time is going to be added due to this injury here for East Coast. Take the time to remind you of our sponsors. It is Salt Athletics. Today's Game and Frame broadcast is sponsored by Salt Athletic. Salt have made the world's freshest, most advanced cleat bag. The air case uses antimicrobial technology to block smell, making for odor-free car rides and houses. Salt is offering the Game and Frame community an exclusive discount. Scan the QR code to get 10% off and keep it fresh. Junior still down. It's not looking too good. It was a very awkward landing there after that tackle. It looks like he is getting prepared to be brought up. Looks like a sub is going to be needed for East Coast early this first half for Junior once he's able to get up to his feet, and he is slowly doing that now. And Junior makes his way to the bench. We'll see who he is replaced with. It looks like it is going to be J.P. Saraguro with the number 30 for East Coast. John Paul Saraguro comes in for the injured Junior Velasquez, Ecuadorian, coming on in midfield. Junior will be attended by the physios there for East Coast, and we are just about ready for play to be resumed. Here's TJ, back to Rowland, all the way back to Munoz in net. I think at least 2 minutes will be added to regular time after that injury. In the meantime, here comes Garces, and very vicious tackle, but cleaned and timed perfectly by East Coast. There's Diego. Diego now looking for Velez, but took too hard of a touch, and it goes over to Brooklyn once again. Sun is just about set in this Saturday evening. We still have a tied game on this Saturday evening. Here's Poposi Christ. Jesse. This is Wisdom, who has some speed to him. Wisdom pushing it forward now. He can put a service into the box, but Altuve was to it first, and they look to come off on the counter. This is Castro. He has Christ on him, and there's a foul called there. Tensions rising high after that tackle and foul by Brooklyn. Didn't seem to be a lot in that tackle, but it got a little feisty in midfield. And Christ is going to get a talking to. Both pleading their cases to the ref, but he's clearly going to tell them he doesn't want to hear any of it. And he's got a yellow card in his hand. Looks like it is a yellow for both players involved. One goes to Poposi Christ of Brooklyn, and I believe that is Castro, Rafael Castro of East Coast. We have about 10 minutes left of regular time. Still a tied game. East Coast 1, Brooklyn FC 2-1. There's a free kick looking for Adrian Palomares, who is the lone goal scorer for East Coast. It drops to Velez. Velez being charged at by Christ. Castro comes out on top, looking for Velez again, gives it away. This is Jesse now. Comes off Jesse. Yes, that is correct. It is East Coast ball. They'll have to retake this once again. Whoever scores a goal heading into halftime will have an edge into the second 45 minutes of this match. Here comes a long ball throw in. Into the box it goes. The rebound lands to Adrian. And here's a second cross looking for Luque. Luque gets a header on it. But just a glancing header as Munoz kicks it out of bounds for an East Coast throw-in. Here's JP Saragudo getting his early action after coming on for the injured Junior Velasquez. Adrian trying to fight for that ball. Lands to Yaya for Brooklyn. Looking for his forwards. Castro to it first. Franklin Solarte has to deal with that because Garces is on top. Garces goes down, but no foul call. Here's Anthony Morales. Over to JP. JP gives it away to Poposi. 30 for 30. Lands to Raven. Diego. Here's Dominic. Here's TJ Bernard. Now Poposi Christ. Puts it out wide for Wisdom, who keeps it inbound, looking to put in a service into the box. There's Yaya. It lands to Garces now. Garces takes a shot, and it finds the back of the net for a 2-1 lead for Brooklyn FC 2. Two crosses and 2 goals for Brooklyn. This time it was Garces. Defense in the box, not able to control or handle the services so far, as Brooklyn goes up 2-1 on East Coast, and they're making a sub now. Yaya wasn't able to get it, but Garces was there in perfect position. Oscar Garces to handle what was needed. Christ is coming off, and number 31 is coming in his place. There's a long, hopeful shot, and Munoz controls it on the second attempt. Here's TJ Bernard, who is suddenly dealing with a lead now in this game. We are nearing halftime, and Munoz with the poor kick there. Wasn't able to keep it in bounds. East Coast now has to overcome another game where they are down. This ball is looking for Luque. And Luque not able to get to that on time. The player that came on looks to be Eric Teneda with number 31. There's a long shot by Luque, deflected by the defense. JP drops it down for Luque. Here's Velez. Hasn't seen much of the ball in this first half. Still up in the air. Someone looking to control possession. Diego comes out on top. There's Castro who gets dispossessed by Dominic. There's a counter, 2-on-1 now. This is Garces, 1-on-1 with the keeper. What can he do from this angle? He takes a shot, and it is off target by inches. But Brooklyn continues to be on the offensive as we have 5 minutes left of regular time. They are up 2-1 to this East Coast squad that finished in third place in the conference, in the division, in the winter. Each one of this front three for Brooklyn FC2 has a goal involvement in this match, promising moving forward for the team from Brooklyn. That is Wisdom trying to use that speed to his advantage once again. East Coast is not unfamiliar to comebacks. They had a couple last season, notably to Empire, as well as to Future Soccer Academy in the couple of games that I covered for them in the winter. This is Solarte trying to start a counter, but Dominic is to it first. Over to Wisdom once again. Wisdom gets past Luque. Wisdom over to Jesse, and Guevara's to it first. Read that well positioned by the keeper. About 3 minutes left of regular time in the first half. It is East Coast that is now down after taking the early lead. There's a goal kick by Guevara in the middle of the field. Still anybody's ball, and there's a foul call by the ref. Brooklyn has scored their first 2 goals on the season now. This East Coast defense continues to allow more than 2 goals a game in the first 3 games of the season. Here's Diego. Can East Coast find an equalizer before the halftime whistle? Back to Rowland it goes. Dominic Brolinski now. Giving away. This is Adrian Palomares. And he gives it right back to Brooklyn. Though a shaky start in the first 9 minutes of the match, Brooklyn FC2 has found a way to bounce back and look much better after equalizing. This is Morales. And there's more chippiness from the Brooklyn side, as that is TJ Bernard who gets a yellow. Diego grabbing the back of his neck. It takes the brunt of that tackle. There's a warning from the main official asking Brooklyn to stop talking back to the main official. That is the second booking for Brooklyn FC. It's TJ Bernard and Faposi Christ who are on yellows in this first half. For East Coast, it is Rafael Castro, the only player booked. And we have about 30 seconds left of regular time. We'll see how much time is added. Surely it's got to be at least 3 minutes by my calculations. Adrian not able to control it that time around. There's a long cross for Brooklyn. Diego to it first. Dominic everywhere on the field so far in this first half. Nicely timed tackle by Dominic. Gets it back for Brooklyn. Here is Garces. Makes a move, tries to keep it in bounds. Unsuccessful in doing so. And there's another player down for East Coast. I believe that is Diego once again. A bit of sportsmanship there from the recently booked Dominic. Over to Adrian. That seems to be the man to target for this East Coast squad. It worked in the opening 9 minutes, but since then, they have had very little to no shots on target on Munoz. We are now in extra time, a minute down. We'll see how much more is added. There's a cross, looking for Wisdom. Wisdom to it first. Now it's Garces. Morales has to make a clearance there. And it is Brooklyn who is ending this match on a brighter note than the way that he started. Nearing the 47th minute of this match, they have the first lead of the season, taking it into halftime. And it goes. Bernard trying to get to that ball. Solarte kicks it out once again for another throw in for for Brooklyn FC 2. And it goes for Garces. Looks like East Coast is going to finish this first half playing keep away, trying to prevent another shot on target. Not many few shots on target from either side in this first half, but most of them have ended in a goal in the back of the net. Luque looking to keep this inbound for East Coast. He is unsuccessful in doing so. We are nearing the 3rd minute of extra time, 48th minute. It is Brooklyn FC 2. There is the halftime whistle. Brooklyn FC 2 scores 2 after an early 1-0 deficit. They rebounded well, and they have the lead heading into halftime against East Coast FC.
Tristino into Junior Azero, gets half a yard, catches it beautifully, and opens the scoring with a rip-roaring strike.
Leaves it for Saiti. Baron, crafty, goal Richmond! Back and forth we go, now it's 2-1, it's Dylan Meadows, assist for Baron.
Chango can't quite keep it. Yoa, pick it up, dangerous area, Malachi with a shot. Beautiful save from the keeper.
Smith now gonna bring it forward. Smith gets through 2. Smith into the middle. He scores! Mohu. Tug at the shirt. He's had a hit. What a strike!
To the captain with a lot of space. Crossed inside, using his chest. Aristotle Zazulin to the rescue.
Base. And he's looking for Richmond. He's played a nice ball over the top. He's gotten it under control. A little clip over the top. What a goal. Ball is about 23 yards out. Richmond has a hit, and he's wrong-footed to Mars. Richmond has 2 in less than 3 minutes. Burkhart fires! Oh, that went in! That was off the bottom of the bar! Burdick or Espinosa? It's Espinosa for a hat trick to his right foot! Hat trick for Espinosa!
Now Piggott is on the clear. He can score here, and it is saved by Cleveland.
Neto leaves it. Oliveira, 2-1, perfectly placed. Good enough pace to beat Valencia, but also the placement as well.
Now he's on. Kamara's on sides. Kamara gets around the keeper. This could be it. Could finish. It's 2. That's the final whistle.
Right side, isn't it? Can he bend it around the wall? He's gone for it, and it's tipped over the crossbar. Joe Holland, once again Perez called into action.
Willie goes long, trying to find Reynoso. Reynoso gets a touch over the keeper. Reynoso, open goal. And he finishes.
Looking for Tail the rescue. It lands to Jallo instead. Jallo's still on the ball. He cuts inside. He takes a shot, and he scores! Here's Jallo. 99 makes a move. 99 puts it in the box, and there's a goal! Ryan saves the day for International. Trot now, putting the nail in the coffin. Here's Piggott. Piggott 1-on-1. Piggott with the shot. Piggott with the goal! There it goes. There's a victory, International, we're looking for.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards, so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
A quality highlight reel is crucial for college and pro recruitment. A lot of services offer generic solutions, but at Game & Frame we know every player is unique and needs a personalised approach to win over coaches. Our process is simple. We work with any footage, and if you need help finding your best plays, we'll review games for you. Once we've finished, you'll have a reel you can upload to any recruitment platform. We've helped hundreds of players get the attention they deserve, including placements in Division 1 programs. Scan the QR code or email us for a free consultation and start the journey to maximize your recruitment potential.
We are just about ready for the second half kickoff. There are some substitutions here leading into the second 45 minutes of this match. We'll tell you soon as we have that second half whistle. It is 8:14. We have 45 minutes to go in the second half. Brooklyn FC 2 leading 2-1 over East Coast FC, thanks to goals from Yaya and Oscar Garces. For East Coast, they opened up the scoring in this match behind Adrian Palomares, Peruvian forward playing at an advanced position today. Brooklyn is already having some action here in the second half. Yaya not able to control that one as East Coast has to make an early clearance. Gabriel Bustamante comes on in the second half, wearing the number 15 for East Coast. There's a long ball that goes bouncing into the hands of Brooklyn FC's goalie, Munoz. The way this game ended in the first half, not the way it started. East Coast looked relatively comfortable in the opening 9 to 10 minutes of this match. That is until Brooklyn FC 2 was able to tie the game up behind a goal from Yaya up top, the Egyptian forward. Via cross, both goals came in the first half. Wisdom providing an assist to Oscar Garces for the second goal of the match. So far, it's a winning goal for Brooklyn FC 2, who are looking for their first win of the season. If it ends this way, it'll be East Coast's third straight loss. And there's an early ball into the box for Velez, and just not able to control it, and hurts the goalkeeper in the process. Extends the foot and gets a booking. Velez just not able to control his feet. Goalie quickly back up to his feet. That is the second booking for East Coast, first of which went to Rafael Castro. 2 bookings for East Coast, 2 for Brooklyn FC. We have lovely weather this Saturday night now. It's been beautiful all day. Early signs of summer coming to Long Island. So we are coming to you live from Nassau County in Mitchell Athletic Complex. There's a goal kick from Munoz. Brooklyn looking to leave Long Island with 3 important points. Given away there though, and quickly recover from Brooklyn. And there's a foul called. Intelligence being yelled from the field for East Coast as they try to regain their composure that they had when they started this match. Hasn't been the same since. Brooklyn, despite their record in the winter of last season, they have a lot of talent on this pitch. Very noticeable from the midfield behind Dominic Brulinski. The front 3 that has plenty of pace. Pretty good chemistry shown so far in the first half, which is the reason why they are leading this game 2-1. Dominic attempted to keep that ball in play but was unsuccessful, and is East Coast throw-in by the hands of Carlos Moncaliano, looking for Velez, pushing forward. Johan Velez still fighting for the ball. It lands to the sub, Bustamante, who's not able to keep it in play. I believe for Brooklyn FC 2, that is number 50, Richard Ewert, who also comes in as a sub. The Jamaican defender making his presence felt early. There's the ball to Jesse, over to Ewert. Back to the keeper, being pressed on. Does well to avoid the challenge coming from Castro. Jesse not able to keep that in play. And that ball finds the stands. There's a throw in for Brooklyn. It lands to Teneda. There's a cross looking for Wisdom down the right wing. Bustamante to it first. There's a foul called on Jesse. Brooklyn has been able to press on this East Coast squad since going up early in this match. They tied up the game and never looked back. Have been so far the better team for most of this first half and early second half. East Coast looking to change that with Joan Velez. Castro gives the ball away to Brooklyn. Gets it right back. Looking to take on Jesse Otu. Both putting in a good battle. Goes out of bounds off East Coast. It is Brooklyn FC 2 ball. Foul called on East Coast. Looks like that shoving matchup. It's going to get called every time from the main official. 4 cards given so far in this match, 2 to each side. JP Saraguro trying to get the offense rolling in the second half, unsuccessful so far. JP calling for the corner. The ref signaled for the goal kick for Munoz to take, which he does so now. There's a ball looking for Oscar Garces, who's already found the back of the net once in this match. East Coast will look to turn this around somehow. This is going to be a very tight conference and division with the likes of Empire, Braveheart, Renegade, now Red Hook, who's off to a great start this season. Academias Barcelona as well. The easy wins are very far away in sight. East Coast finished near the bottom of the conference last season. So East Coast will look at this as an opportunity to get some points, but so far they're leaving here with none. Late foul call there by the ref. There's a player down for Brooklyn FC. And stick around for the Game and Frame broadcast tomorrow, April 20th, as the New York Renegades face New York Empire in a big clash in the division. 7:30 in the UPSL Premier Northeast American North Conference. Pair of teams that finished in the top 3 last season. Actually, I believe Empire finished 4th, but still. Not much separated the top 4 in the winter. There's a free kick to be taken from Brooklyn. Still the rebound, handled by the ref, by the defense. Lands to Rowland, looking for Garces. Garces not able to handle that. Luque comes out on top. Looking for a counterattack offense here if they get it. Dangerous tackle there. No foul call by the ref. Signals for a throw-in instead. Morales is back to his feet in his advanced position, coming forward from defense. Almost given away there. Palomares retreating, trying to get it out of harm's way. More shoving coming as we felt the tension arising in the first half. It simmered down for a bit. Looks like this is going to be a fiery end to this match. We already down 10 minutes into the second half, so about 35 minutes to go. Just a one goal separating both sides. Bustamante looking for Velez. Dominic clears it far into the stands. Diego goes down, and there's a foul called by the ref, looking to see if they were going to play advantage. East Coast didn't come out on top on the end of that, so they get a free kick. Diego to take this free kick for East Coast FC, down by a goal. Here comes the cross for East Coast. There's a person making a run. Looks like an offside call by the linesman. I believe that is Gabriel Bustamante, who was looking to come out on the other end of that, but wasn't able to time his run. Nice move there by Rowland. Now needs to get rid of it. Does so well. This is Raven. There's a foul called. And another yellow shown for East Coast. I believe that is Joseph Luque who comes out booked, and it is now 3 men with yellow cards for East Coast FC. And there's a sub to take place for Brooklyn FC too. Coming on is Alexander Melgar with number 44. I believe that is Jesse Otu who comes out in his place. In comes the free kick for Brooklyn FC 2. Looking for a header. East Coast 2 at first. Gabriel gives it away to TJ Bernard. And there's Garces looking to take on Morales. Takes a shot and is saved by the keeper. Guevara with the save in the second half. Not a lot of save opportunities for either keepers in the first half. There's the first one for Guevara. Looking for Velez up top. And he runs into his opponent, takes him down, and the ref coming over to check on him now. Be sure to check out Game and Frame on Instagram at Game and Frame, or our Game and Frame website to check out the plays of the week. Looks like Emmanuel Centurion will be coming on for East Coast FC with the number 4. He is going to be taking out Rafael Castro, who has a yellow in this match for East Coast. I believe that is Rowland who came out injured after that tackle. He'll sit out for a bit, but I believe he is ready to go once he's allowed to by the linesman. In the meantime, free kick for Brooklyn FC 2, who are leading this game 2-1 against last season's third place team in East Coast FC from Long Island. We are playing here in the Mitchell Athletic Complex in Nassau County. It was on this field that Ariel Barrera secured a late comeback. I believe they secured a tie in that match in the closing minutes against New York Empire last season. East Coast will look to do more of the same here in what is left of this match to avoid a third consecutive defeat to start the season. I believe that is Raven, who makes a nice move to avoid his defender. Goes all the way back to Richard Ewart. Moncaliano trying to get it over Wisdom, not able to do so. Dispossessed once again. East Coast looking to formulate some offense. There's a long ball service looking for Johan Velez. But Rowland is in good position to deal with that, and out comes Munoz. $15 minutes down in the second half. 30 minutes to go in what is so far a victory for Brooklyn FC 2, given away by Teneda. A little back and forth from Diego Cucanuba and the coaching staff from the bench. Trying to better the field communication from the players. Not a lot of open spaces. That seems to be the message coming from the bench. Here comes a service from Bustamante. There's a header, and there's another offside call by the linesman. Offside once again, not being able to time their run in these set pieces. Munoz resumes play for Brooklyn FC 2. Here's Bernard. Out of bounds. East Coast ball. And they get it in quick. They don't have much time to waste. Morales now. Over to, I believe that is Palomares, who's pushing up the field now. Oh, and there's a dangerous ball, almost given away, but Altuve able to get to it first. Here's Diego. Over to Centurion now. This time it is given away to Raven. And now it is Wisdom pushing forward. Wisdom waiting for support. Gets past Diego Cucanuba, trying to give it over to Raven. Or Ravine, who puts in a service into the box. There's a header, but the forward, that is Garces, not able to make the contact to put a shot on target. Instead, there's a goal kick for Guevara of East Coast. Another sub is going to be made here for East Coast FC as Sebastian Villada is coming on with the number 9. And it is Carlos Moncaliano who comes off in his place. A defense for offense move for East Coast as they desperately need a goal to get back into this match. There's a ball looking for the Spanish forward. Goes out of bounds instead. Looks like that ball came off Centurion, and it did. Brooklyn FC ball. Dominic over to Ravine. This is Tepeda. And loses it once again to Gabriel Bustamante. There's a dangerous tackle there. No call by the ref. All the way back to Munoz being pressed. And Munoz has to clear it away. East Coast slowly but surely generating some offense to get back into this match. There it goes, looking for Velez. Velez can put a cross into the box, and it goes out. Looks like it was off target, and it is a goal kick for Munoz for Brooklyn FC 2. 20 minutes down in the second half, same score as the first. 2-1 lead for Brooklyn FC 2. 25 minutes to turn it around for the team from Long Island. Wisdom drops it down. Eric Tepeda making a run. Gets past Centurion. Now this is Yaya who scored the first goal of the match for Brooklyn FC 2. First goal of the season. Tepeda making a run. Garces goes down. A foul called there. And it looks to be another booking for East Coast. This time it is 2. Not able to tell quite yet. Looks like it is Altuve who gets that yellow card. The number 19 center back for East Coast. Some more chirping coming from these sides. The ref's trying to restore order here. Just a talking to this time around. Make that the 4th booking for East Coast. Surely he told the players involved in this one, I believe that is Garces and JP Saraguro, that the next time it won't be a warning, it'll be another booking. Dominic Brulinski is going to take this free kick. In comes the service. East Coast to the clearance. And Guevara comes out on top. Trying to bring some life into this offense. Guevara long kicks it forward. A couple of bounces all the way over to Munoz, the opposing keeper, who clears it out of bounds once again. And it comes for Gabriel. It was Villada who was wide open up front, but they were not able to find him. Munoz will continue to do a little bit of time wasting as this team continues to lead in this match. Today's Game and Frame broadcast is sponsored by Salt Athletic. Salt have made the world's freshest, most advanced cleat bag. The air case uses antimicrobial technology to block smell, making for odor-free car rides and houses. Salt is offering the Game and Frame community an exclusive discount. Scan the QR code to get 10% off and keep it fresh. A loud yell from JP Saraguro as he gets injured there, and there's a yellow card shown. I believe that is to Yaya. As more and more players enter the book list for the main official. Make that 3 booking for Brooklyn FC 2 and 4 for East Coast FC. A little over 20 minutes to go for East Coast FC to look for a second goal in the match. Guevara, another long kick, looking for Joseph Luque. Joseph trying to keep the ball in play, unsuccessful in doing so. Goes out of bounds once again. '70-minute mark of the second half, same score as the first half. 20 minutes left for something to happen here for either squad. Looking for their first points on the season. Both enter this match 0-2. Rabin was looking for wisdom, unsuccessful in doing so. Centurion is to it first instead. Villada. Over to Diego. Back to the keeper, Guevara. Another ball forward looking for Velez. Velez can get there if he can get the better of Tepeda. Eric doing well so far. Gets past the two defenders on him. And now looking for wisdom. It goes out of bounds. Gabriel, not the pass he was looking for there. Given away. Here's a 4-on-2 counter. Wisdom, can he keep it in play? He does. There's a cross. Into the box it goes. Very generous bicycle kick on the semicircle from Dominic Berlinski, but it never really challenged the keeper. TJ Bernard. Drop it for Ravine. This is Dominic once again, looking for Wisdom. Wisdom has some speed. He can get there. Centurion with a nice shoulder. Body checks him. Great tackle. That ball looked to continue rolling there, and that's a call from the official. Joseph Luque gives it away again to TJ Bernard. This defense from Brooklyn FC has stepped it up big time. This is allowing the first goal in this match. Over to Ravine. Nice move by Ravine. Bernard. Now runs start to be made. This is Garces looking for Wisdom. Centurion, nicely timed tackle there to prevent that pass from going through. Ravine. Wisdom now. Over to Ravine. Ravine on the edge of the box. This is Dominic. I believe that is Eric who goes down. Alexander Melgar looks to be the number 44 playing on this side. Eric Teneda, excuse me, I've been calling him from the wrong last name. Apologize for that. Eric Teneda is with the number 31. As East Coast now makes a defensive substitution. Kareem Muqtadir comes in with number 25. Moves need to be made for this scoreline to turn around. Dominic's free kick goes into the box. Guevara, safe save for East Coast. Believe it was Joseph Luque who exit in the place of Muqtadir. Muqtadir seems to be playing a more advanced position. May be playing in the midfield for this East Coast squad, traditionally a center back. Here's Centurion now, the left side. Subbed on in the second half. What can he come up with here? Not what he was looking for. That ball goes firmly out of bounds for a goal kick for Brooklyn FC 2. 15 minutes of regular time to go. 2-1 lead for Brooklyn FC 2. Gabriel Bustamante now pushing forward. Sebastian Villada. Switch it over to Centurion down the left side. He has some room to work with. Can he put a cross? Better cross this time around. There's a header and there's a tying goal. No! Based on the bench's reaction, you would think that went into the net. Instead, it was Munoz who makes a save. Looked like Villada had tied it up. It wasn't to be. And yet another yellow card for Centurion, this time around for East Coast FC. Wisdom with a loud yell on the ground. Make that 5 yellows now for East Coast. Even though they didn't tie it there, that was the best action of the second half for East Coast FC. Best action all game since scoring the first goal, really. More of that is needed. There's Gabriel, recovers for East Coast. Lovely footwork there from Wisdom to avoid the tackle from Diego. Now Dominic pushing forward, looking for TJ Bernard down the left side of the pitch. Over to Eric Teneda. Teneda gets rid of his 2 defenders. He's on the edge of the box. And he goes far out of bounds for a Guevara goal kick. East Coast needs a spark somehow. There's Gabriel Bustamante. Over to Villada. Giving away. This is Ravine who gives it right back to East Coast. Velez still on the ball. Trying to play on. Yellow card instead for Ravine. Make that 4 for Brooklyn FC 2. Almost a full lineup of yellow cards between the two teams. A lot of players in this match in danger of finding a second yellow and early ejection of the match. About 12 minutes to go of regular time. East Coast with another free kick. In comes the free kick. No offside this time, but safely in the hands of Munoz for Brooklyn FC 2. Over to TJ. This is Eric Teneda. A foul called there by the official. The tackle on Eric. Looks like more moves to be made for Brooklyn FC 2 the moment the ref gives the whistle to allow them to come in. 2 subs coming on the pitch. Looks like it is Agent Murati with number 33, followed by Julian Solarski with the number 37 coming on for Brooklyn soon. Gabriel Bustamante. Now it's Joan Velez. Giving away once again. Yaya's up top. Wisdom making the run down the right side. Being defended by Velez. Looking for Dominic. Diego there to it first. Velez has a long run to go back up top to his position. There's a handball that goes off Gabriel Bustamante. Looks like the ref is going to allow the subs to come on now. It is Dominic Brulinski coming off, and Yaya Esch. Two book players for the Brooklyn FC squad. Two guys very involved in this match. Dominic with his play in midfield, and Yaya with the first goal for Brooklyn FC 2. Job well done for the starters for Brooklyn FC. But still some time to work with for this score to change. No goals in the second half so far. Velez. Guarded by Melgar. Looks like ref is going to call that every time. Altuve takes the free kick quickly over to Diego Kukunuba. There's a ball looking for Villada. Hasn't found it a lot since coming onto the pitch. Bustamante has. He switches the field over to Emmanuel Centurion. Emmanuel still defended by Ravine. Ravine does well to win the ball away from Centurion. This is Wisdom now. Surrounded by White. And does not get the foul call this time. Gabriel now. This is Villada. Villada looking for Velez. The defense well positioned to prevent that from happening. And another foul call by the official. A little over 7 minutes to go of the 90. We'll see how much time is added this time around. Brooklyn looking for their first win of the season. Ref has a very early whistle so far, man. He's telling Diego to get up for embellishment. So far, it looks like every minor tackle being made, not on the ball, is being called by the main official. Muqtadir. Velez. All the way back to Munoz it goes. And an unnecessary tackle by Muqtadir there. And a big shove there by Brooklyn. And this was bound to happen with the physicality of this match. There's another shove by Munoz, the goalkeeper. Very unnecessary tackle by Muqtadir. Ref still working on calming down the situation. He has a red card on his hand. We wait to see who he's going to show it to. There's a red card shown to somebody. Very hard to tell here, but we'll surely see the player get ejected from this match. It's just a very unnecessary tackle there by Muqtadir. You figured he was going to put some pressure on the keeper to get the ball into his hands, but instead he goes and stomps him. It looks like the red is shown to believe it. Muqtadir is the one who gets the red. And more cards being shown here. Ref just telling the goalkeeper Guevara to get back to his net. There will be a conversation to be had by the officials to discuss what just occurred. There's a lot of chaos here. 5 minutes left of regular time, more to be added soon. That chipping has started in the first half. Couple instances where yellow cards were shown. And they got to this point. Still the refs are speaking about what other bookings to be made, if any. Both teams awaiting the decision. East Coast will play the remainder of this match with 10 men on the field. We still await the decision of what is to come out of what just occurred. Looks like a decision has been made. And another red card shown, this time to Villalba. The striker for East Coast gets a red card. From 11 to 9 it goes for East Coast, and another red is going to be shown here for Brooklyn now. Brooklyn goalkeeper gets a red, and another red to another player for Brooklyn FC. I believe that is Wisdom who gets another red. Munoz exits the match. As the only goalkeeper for Brooklyn FC, somebody will have to take his place. And the ref may not be finished here. He's calling Cifuentes from the bench and Mocaliano as well. And there's a red shown. Over to Cifuentes and Mocaliano. Cifuentes hasn't even entered the pitch, and he gets a red card. A lot of chaos here to end this match. Four red cards in this match. Three red cards for East Coast FC, 2 for Brooklyn FC 2. Brooklyn will have to finish this match with a makeshift goalkeeper in net, as Munoz has to exit the pitch as well. It will be 9 on the field for Brooklyn. And still we have not resumed this match as we wait for the players to exit the pitch, exit the premise. Even the goalkeeper has to leave for Brooklyn. Another player for Brooklyn has to exit the pitch. Another player is exiting the pitch. I don't believe that is Wisdom for Brooklyn. I think that is Rowland for Brooklyn that leaves with the red card. Yes, correct, because that is Wisdom on the pitch. It is Rowland who exits the pitch with the red card for Brooklyn FC2. Play has been resumed. We are in the 91st minute. That has to be another booking, and it is. Another yellow there. Needless yellow for Melgar for time wasting. It's going to be easier to think of the players not with the booking in this match. Diego to take this free kick in what is left of extra time in this match. In comes the ball. Goalkeeper punches it out. I believe that is TJ Bernard. And they get a free kick. More time to take off the clock for Brooklyn SC. 92nd minute now. Wisdom pushing forward. Can East Coast find a last-ditch effort to tie this game? That is the best case scenario now. 9v9 on the pitch. Centurion puts in a cross, headed away by the defender first. Lands to Palomares. What can he come up with here? He came up with the first goal of the match. Here comes a cross. The rebound lands for East Coast. Now Gabriel Bustamante. Ravine to run away with the ball for Brooklyn. Dispossessed. Anthony Morales now. Time continues to come off the clock. East Coast needs to act fast. Brooklyn will attempt to make a sub when given the time to do so. And they do get that sub. It is Nicolas Lopez coming onto the pitch with the number 43 Ravine exit in his place. 93 minutes down. The East Coast bench asking for how much time was added. Have not gotten a clear answer yet. Melgar with the ball now. Onto the subbed on player, Lopez. Doesn't have the legs just yet to get to that ball. And there is the full-time whistle. Brooklyn FC to exit the match with all 3 points. First victory of the season for them. East Coast is a third straight defeat in what has been a very ruckus and chaotic match. From Nassau County, I have been Francis Argueta here with Roberto for Game and Frame. It ends East Coast 1, Brooklyn FC 2.